Hi, this is Raisa from Sweet Sultry Spice. I'm making some cholay with some pickled red onions, starting with mace, black cardamom, cinnamon, green cardamoms, bay leaves, and mace. Moving on to red chilies, some black peppercorns, some cloves, some caraway seeds and fennel seeds, coriander seeds, and cumin seeds. I'm going to start by roasting the first set of whole masalas, and I'm going to toast them for 2 to 3 minutes. And I've actually torn up the bay leaves. Those are Indian bay leaves. Toast them for 3 minutes until they get some color. Set them aside. And then take the rest of the whole spices with minus the fennel and the chilies, roasting them for a couple of minutes. And then in the last minute, adding the red chilies with fennel seeds. Now you can put the seeds of the red chili in, or you can take them out, but you will get more heat with the seeds. So again, roasting them for a minute further till they get nice and toasted. And then we're going to let the spices cool down until they're room temperature. And at that point, we are going to put them in the Thermomix and grind them for about 15 seconds. And so you can see here that I'm literally 15 seconds putting it on speed 8 and grinding them. I'm going to use some of that spice mix in the recipe, and then the rest of it I will use at a later date. Now I've got some amchur powder and some turmeric powder in a jar, and I'm mixing that spice mix in there. I'm going to start with a couple of tablespoons of oil in a pan. That's rapeseed oil, adding half an onion. I'm going to fry these onions, give them some color, and then add my garlic in there. Let that fry up for a minute, and then adding my fresh tomatoes. So I've got about 2 fresh tomatoes there that I'm going to cook up. They're going to release a bit of the water, and I'm going to let that evaporate and let it come into a thick slurry. Once it does that, I'm going to add my masala powder that I've just ground up in the Thermomix. Add a couple of teaspoons of that and cook that until I can smell the aromas of the spices. So it takes about a minute or so. And I've already roasted, so I don't have to do this for too long. Once I've done that, I'm going to add some pre-boiled potatoes. I think I used about 6 of them. And I used 2 containers of drained chickpeas. I'm going to add about half a cup of water to this, and salt, about a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon and a half, depends on your taste. Mix it all together and then cook it, simmer it for about 15-20 minutes. And then once that's done, we're going to let that rest for 5 minutes and then add our pickle.